Welcome to the last episode of our Decade in Film series, our top 10 of the 1970s, one of the most incredible decades of film ever. The Best Picture winners alone deserve their own museum. And we've done the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, and the 80s, and we're capping it with the 70s. We're going to stop here for a while because we still have a lot of research to do for the 60s and back. But one day we will do them because we're never going to stop checking out old film. And, learning is fun in any medium, especially film.
Indeed.
So without further ado, let's go into this. You guys know the drill. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
I'm Austin Johnson.
Welcome to Filmgazm. So the 70s. I know you've had a love affair with the 70s for a very long time. I know it's one of your favorite, if not your favorite, decade of film.
Yeah. As far as like my top of the top, yeah, this is my favorite decade. Now, obviously in the 2010s, 2000s, 90s, I've seen a lot more.
Yeah.
But what I've seen when it comes to the cream of the crop, the 70s is my favorite. And like you said, Patton, French Connection, Godfather, The Sting, Godfather 2, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Rocky, Kramer vs. Kramer, come on, these are like Deer Hunter. These are crazy good movies. Crazy good. What am I missing? 78.
78.
No, Kramer vs. Kramer. What am I missing?
79 was Kramer vs. Kramer. 78 was The Deer Hunter. 77 was Annie Hall.
There you go. I was missing, in between Rocky and, So,
but damn.
great movies.
Good run.
Great movies. And, I have, I won't say how many I have in here. No, I have two. I just have two of those in here.
I have three.
Okay. This is going to get interesting. Well, without further ado, let's jump into this.
All right.
My number 10, I believe, will be on your list.
Yes.
It is John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween.
Yep, that's on my list.
Where is that at for you?
That is my number 5.
Okay, cool. Halloween is a quintessential John Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
A quintessential slasher. Quintessential horror. Everything. It just kind of fits.
It's one of the tent poles.
Yeah, it fits in every little box that you want to put it in. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. What's your favorite thing about the Halloween, aside from it just being a perfect film?
It's so bare bones.
Yes.
Carpenter. He did so much with just Psycho stalks babysitters on Halloween. And he turned it into this massive franchise that never got any better than it did the first time.
Agreed.
Michael Myers, he turned him into a horror icon. People list him along, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. He's up there with the best of the best, the most recognizable horror faces ever.
Yes.
But I think he's the best.
Oh,
he's the scariest.
Not even close, yeah.
This movie is terrifying.
Still.
And it's so brilliant. His music is iconic as hell. It's mind-blowing how beautiful this movie is. He could have just half-assed it. He could have just said, all right, here's your shitty movie. But no, he turned it into something amazing. And I respect the fuck out of that.
Me too. Oh my gosh, yeah. Halloween is spectacular. I think you and I agree that the 2018 one's probably the second best.
Easily.
It finally captured what we love about Halloween, what we love about Michael Myers. I couldn't agree with you more. It is the practicality that John Carpenter brings to the set, to his projects, is fucking uncanny. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. And Halloween, I will have no qualms with anyone who said that that's his masterpiece. No qualms. I love like 5 of his movies, like love.
Yeah.
And he, this is so big for horror. So therefore it's huge for Filmgazm, huge for myself, huge for Connor, huge for Caleb, huge for Josh.
Yeah.
We all adore this movie.
We've covered it on the podcast before.
Yes.
Last Halloween, we did this.
Had to.
What was it? Solid episode. And
it's also like very dear to my heart because it's like my girlfriend's favorite movie of all time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Brianna is obsessed with Halloween. We've watched it so many times together just since we started dating. And of course, since we had Willow, we watch movies all the time together, and this is just always going to be there. Always. I think if she was making a 70s list, it would be number 1. But it's my number 10. So what's your number 10?
Fantastic. All right, well, my number 10 is the 1975 Big Five Oscar winner, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, that's a shit film. Why would you have that in your top 10?
Well, I like it, okay?
That's for all of you who have listened before, that's my number 1.
Oh, boy.
I think One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is possibly the greatest film ever. Yeah, it's awesome.
It is a fantastic
And we
movie.
just did it.
We just did it. Yeah. I think like two or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, with The Shining.
With The Shining. And I hadn't seen it in years, and I fell in love with it. It's an amazing movie. One of the most entertaining dramas, bordering on comedy at times, but a film that pisses you off. And in the end, still kind of leaves you hanging with like, well, shit's not going to get better, but at least it got better for somebody. And one of the few films to really earn Best Picture.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it ran up against some unprecedented. This is a legendary Oscar year.
Yeah.
75 is one of the best years ever in film. As far as like the top heavy American cinema, I can't speak for everything else that happened. But when you talk about the Oscars, 75 is one of those years. You think about like 1939 and you think about 1975.
Yes.
That's just how it fucking is. I think we'll be talking about another 1975 movie later.
Yeah, probably.
We'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, One Flew Over is great, man. I'll talk about it again later. But yeah, just listen to our episode. We break down every fucking scene. Every little thing that Jack Nicholson does is gold. So yeah, it's awesome. Great pick, of course. That is cool that you like rewatching it was that powerful where you're like, oh man, I got to put it in my top 10. That's really cool. I love that. That's the power of rewatching, baby. My number 9. I'm curious to see if this will be on yours. This is actually the only Martin Scorsese movie I've had at any of my list, and that would be 1976's Taxi Driver.
Wow. Well
I have
done.
not had a Scorsese movie.
Haven't?
Because I cut out, 2010, there hasn't been anything. Silence was good, but it's very slow and it's not very Scorsese, I guess.
The big shocker was Goodfellas.
Yeah,
not
but that's the
expecting
90s, like I got a Reservoir Dogs, the 90s was really hard for me. All my favorite filmmakers like came out at that time and like started making movies. But this is, I think this is my favorite, aside from The Last Waltz, but The Last Waltz is technically a documentary, so I did not include it in this list because I wanted to stop doing that. I wanted to do just straight 10 films. To me, it opens up too many doors, maybe, when you have documentaries, and I don't think I've seen enough documentaries to really say, like, this one's the best.
Yeah.
But The Last Waltz is my favorite thing that Scorsese has ever done. But Taxi Driver is my favorite film of his. I mean, Bobby De Niro, come on, man. Possibly his greatest performance. And one of those movies that has influenced so many other movies, including 2019's Joker.
Yeah.
To a fucking T. And I don't mind that one bit.
No, man.
Because I get it. I've wanted to make a movie like Taxi Driver, you know what I mean? It's just intoxicating stuff. And watching Bobby is like, it's a treat. Watching Bobby in the 70s is one of the coolest things you can do as someone who watches movies. That's one of the best things you can do for yourself is go back and watch all this old shit. Watch Mean Streets. Watch this. He's the fucking man. Again, I would have no qualms with someone saying he's the best actor of all time. That kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff that's happening in the 70s. Do you have this on here?
I do not.
Do you, Scorsese any 70s or no? Probably not. Yeah, if this is not on there, yeah.
No
yeah.
Scorsese.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we both love his work. I think you're a bigger fan than I am, but Taxi Driver holds like a very special place in my heart. Always will. Yeah, wow. Halloween and Taxi Driver, 2 movies that it just gets better from here.
Damn, starting strong.
Yeah, no kidding. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is another Best Picture winner. The ultimate underdog story, 1976's Rocky.
Okay.
Maybe the best boxing movie ever made.
Possibly.
The film that made Sylvester Stallone's career. And still a fun, just heartwarming watch. It's the little
movie.
guy taking on the big guy and making an impact.
When you got great stuff like him running through Philly, that actually happened. That shit, people didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, man.
He wrote it. Like, this was his movie. This was his baby. I love the story that he sold his dog at the time in order to get, like, I think rent money or something. He was dirt poor. He was homeless basically, trying to make this movie. And once he got the movie made some money off it, he immediately went and got his dog back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, goddamn.
Well, yeah. What did you expect from Sylvester? Come on.
Rocky started a killer franchise that honestly, for me, has no bad movies. I love all of the Rocky movies.
I'm not a big fan of 5.
I don't mind 5. There's things about 5 I like.
It's fine, yeah, but I'm just huge into 1 and 4. Huge into those 2.
I'm a big Rocky 3 guy.
That's fair. You like the Creed movies?
I love the Creed movies.
Creed movies are good, man.
Yeah. I couldn't say enough about Rocky. I fucking love it. I'm not that big I'm not a really big sports guy. Sports movies are rare.
Boxing's different, man. Yeah.
But boxing movies, I adore boxing movies.
Yeah, boxing's all about me and you. One-on-one.
There's a battle. Those are warriors.
Yeah, it's like watching two gladiators. Yeah.
That one scene where like Rocky and Apollo are going at it, or they're about to go at it. Apollo's still treating this as kind of a goofy exhibition, and Rocky just knocks his ass down, and he's like, "Fuck, this is a real fight." And then it starts turning into a battle.
Yeah.
God,
so cool.
Every time, man.
So
I
cool.
love that movie to death. Rocky.
It's a classic. It is. There's a reason it won Best Picture, man. It's an awesome movie.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so down to number 8. Number 8 for me is 1973, The Exorcist.
Oh, shit. Well done.
William Friedkin, one of his masterpieces. I'll talk about another one later. And he is... man, this guy. This guy knows how to make great films. And The Exorcist is one of the more interesting horror movies to talk about, in my opinion, because it is not really scary so much as it is an atmospheric movie.
Yeah.
And a movie about the definition of horror and what horror means to us. And there's conversations in the film that, to this day, I point at for my love of horror, for my love of the whole spiritual world of whatever you believe is going to be true. And that's said multiple times in The Exorcist. Like the human mind, if it goes to a certain place, it's going to be true.
Yeah.
Because they believe it. So if I believe something strong enough, if I think a demon is possessed, has possessed me strong enough, it has. And that's horror, man. That's fucking horror. And The Exorcist is timeless.
It's so cool that you look at The Exorcist from a psychological perspective. That's really cool.
Oh, I definitely do. The scenes with Ellen Burstyn and the doctor are the best scenes of the movie. A lot of people would say, "Oh, fuck me," all the weird stuff, and they're spitting out green shit. I've seen that before. Since, maybe not in the 70s, but like I've seen that now,
Yeah.
I'm more about the conversations that are happening. I think the writing here is genius. Yeah. And again, the construction of, this film from William Friedkin is out of this world. Like he was just a master in the 70s, one of those guys. So, I love The Exorcist. We recently got to do it. We're going to be doing The Exorcist 2 soon. A couple weeks, I think.
Yeah. Well, by the time this comes out, we'll have done it.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. That'll be long. Yeah, that'll be long gone by this. Yeah. By the time you guys are listening to this. Yeah.
Personally, with The Exorcist, I think that there was no devil. I think that kid just had a very serious case of nerves. And the doctor said it, and I agree. Nervous kid. Can't work with that.
Nervous ass kid, man. Yeah, come on. Can't. Stars. Can't today.
God, I love it.
What's your number 8?
My number 8 is another movie about fighting, but a movie about a different kind of fighting. A movie about martial arts. A movie that inspired countless martial arts films. 1973's Enter the Dragon.
Woo! What a year. 1973.
God damn. Bruce Lee's masterpiece. Regrettably, he died before the film came out. You didn't get to see how big a hit this was, but it remains the most influential martial arts film of all time.
For sure.
So much fun. It's basically Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
The world's greatest fighters are invited to this island to compete against this psycho's, fighters. Bruce Lee, this guy killed his sister, and he's there to, fuck shit up, take this guy down. You've got, Jim Kelly and John Saxon. Like, this movie is off the fucking charts.
It really
entertaining.
Is.
You've got a young Jackie Chan as one of the stunt guys.
People forget that shit.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
This movie is so much fun.
So entertaining.
Wild fucking movie. And it's the movie that made Bruce Lee Bruce Lee.
Oh my God, yeah. And sometimes things like that, like, I know it sounds weird saying like it worked out, but like the fact that he died and then it came, it's just kind of this like...
It turned him into a legend.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same way when Dark Knight came out. Heath Ledger had died. It's like, oh, well, now I got to see that shit, Or In Utero, after Kurt Cobain died, it's like, oh, now I got to listen to that album,
Yeah.
That shit happens with us.
It's a shame that that's how it works, but we are a morbid society.
Yeah.
And we are morbidly curious. And
for sure.
Death makes us, intrigues us. It's fucked up, but it's true.
Yeah.
Be, weird not mentioned.
Let's see this work because they're never going to be able to do it again. That sort of thing. It's crazy.
It's not what the studio said about Bruce Lee because they made a couple more movies using stunt doubles and cardboard cutouts. Looking at you, Game of Death 1 and 2.
Jesus.
Good lord. But Enter the Dragon stands on its own. It's a flawless film.
Indeed. My brother had a poster of it in his room since we were kids, and I was always just like, that's a badass. You know? Bruce Lee is a badass.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's no other way. And then you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and you're like, maybe he's not.
Ooh, that upset a lot of people.
I know. That scene is so good, though. You know, I don't care. I don't care what anybody does, you know. I thought it was hilarious.
Killer.
It was more funny just watching, like, Brad Pitt, you know.
Fight Bruce Lee.
Throw him into a car, yeah. And be like, you know, it was kicking your ass. Oh, the car says otherwise, you know. All that stuff's great.
Nope. Just want to say on record, nobody beat the shit out of Bruce.
Nobody.
Oh, my God.
We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you, I go to jail.
Anybody kills somebody in a fight, they go to jail.
It's called manslaughter. Oh, that's good. That's a good pick, man. I wasn't expecting that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, man, off the wall.
I've only seen it a couple times, so I probably need to revisit it soon. It might move up in my rankings. So that was your number 8.
Yes.
Moving to number 7. I've only seen this movie one time. Recently. Actually wrote a review for it. Rocked my socks off. And it's 1973 again, and it would be Coffee.
Coffee!
Starring Pam Grier.
I had a feeling this was going to come up, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like putting movies that I've only seen once. But it didn't matter with Coffee. It happens every once in a while where I see something. We talked about Itchy the Killer not too long ago.
Yeah.
I gave that a 10 out of 10 after seeing it once. Because I felt very, very strongly about it.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling more confident about talking about a movie after I see it these days. Because I'm just watching more and more stuff. And Coffee was a movie I was like, all right, it's one of Tarantino's favorite movies. Pam Grier's in it. It's one of the like major staples in blaxploitation in the 70s. I got to see it. You got to check it out. Whew. Boy, this is a violent piece of shit movie. It is awesome. There's nothing really good about it. Redeemable. There's just a lot of death, a lot of titties, a lot of drugs, a lot of crazy stuff, you know? It's wild movie. Hour and a half of just fucking, you know, right in your face. And it is great. And Pam Grier, man, I can't say enough about her. I you know, Jackie Brown's one of my favorite movies. I had it in my top 10 for the 90s. So once I saw that, I was like, well, what else did this lady do? Like, she's awesome. Well, Tarantino kind of saved her career. During the 70s, she was a fucking star, you know? And then things kind of, you know, the film industry changed a little bit.
Yeah.
And people weren't needing actors like her as much, which is sad to say, because the blaxploitation stuff was kind of dying down in the 80s and stuff. So back in 97, when he did that for her, you know, got her that role, it's just created this whole phenom around her where people like me are like, well, I want to see the stuff in the past. And this is one of the ones I started with. I've seen The Arena. That one's pretty wild. But Coffee just stuck with me because the story is fucking insane. I'll give you a little, you know, a little base summary. Her sister ends up being addicted to drugs in the city because of these horrible drug dealers. And she's like, well, I just want to kill them all. So that's what she's set out to do, is kill all the people who sell drugs in the city.
Shit.
Doesn't matter. I don't care if they're big, small, just kill them, you know. Let's just get them.
Wow.
Awesome. It's great. 'Cause you're watching a, you know, confident like black woman with this awesome fro just fucking go ham on these guys. It's great. Great stuff. And a wonderful finale. Yeah, you got to check it out, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's on Prime right now. So anyone who wants to see Pam Grier kick some ass and occasionally see like, you know, some strippers' titties at the club, that whatever club they're at in the movie, you know, it's great. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but yeah, definitely for me, and I think you'll love it. I saw it on Tarantino's like top 20 movies ever. I was like, oh, I guess I got to see that. I can't say it's in my top 20 ever.
Yeah.
But it's in my top 10 of this decade because it stands out so strong and kind of defines a part of the 70s for me.
Yeah.
That I don't know enough about, but I love, you know. You know, I think you recently saw, after Eddie Murphy's Dolomite Is My Name came out, you watched Dolomite.
Yes.
Which was your first blaxploitation film.
Yes.
This should be your second.
Okay.
Yeah. It's great.
Fuck yeah, man. Right on. My number 7. Interesting that you brought up The Exorcist, because I believe there was a film that came out just 3 years later that perfected the satanic film, and that is 1976's The Omen.
Yes.
I
thought about this one.
Oh, dude. One of the most disturbing, creepiest horror movies ever made. You don't see dick. It's all atmosphere and implication. It is all, how much do you believe in the devil and his power on earth? It is one of the most brilliant horror films ever made. Gregory Peck, and I don't, honestly, he's the only cast member I got off the top of my head.
Me
Patrick
too.
Troughton. It's a film that rests entirely on the music, pretty much. Just the
Tone.
Dude,
Yeah.
the tone, the satanic chanting, and the idea that this child who you've been raising, this child who's not your kid died and you just took this other kid, way to fuck up your family life, but this kid is the devil. It's the Antichrist. And knowing that information, how do you process that? Like, what do you do if you found out your child is the devil?
Go to church.
Go to church. You can't go to church. Yeah, that's
You see?
creepy ass. Yeah, my God.
Great movie.
The Omen. Every time I watch it, I fall back in love with it. I'm like,
we did that a few months back.
Yeah.
Awesome movie.
Oh, dude.
Remake sucks, but awesome movie.
Remake sucks.
I love Liev Schreiber, so like I would hope, but whatever. Shit happens. That movie is fucking frightening.
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite bit is the glass.
Oh,
Dude. Jesus.
Kill it. Yeah, David Warner's decapitation. Dude, my favorite scene, without a doubt, is when the nanny shows up at the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And the music swells, and you realize, and the mom realizes that she is the protector, and she just chucks mom right at the fucking window.
I also love the zoo scene.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Off the wall, Like I've never seen anything like that.
The animals being like, nope, no, get him the fuck out of
Because
here.
the animals can read that shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Better than humans. Yeah.
Oh God,
Great movie.
I love the Omen.
I
to death.
thought about this one for a while.
That is one of my favorite horror films of all time, and a freakish watch.
Yeah.
And
No kidding.
again, like unlike The Exorcist, you don't see anything. There's nothing visual in the movie. It's all tone and implication, and I love that. Atmosphere is everything in a horror movie to me.
Yes. Very much so. Wonderful pick. That gets us to our top sixes.
Yeah.
Have we revealed one of your? Well, we got
Halloween's my 5.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so my number 6. Speaking of John Carpenter, be 1976 Assault on Precinct 13. You got to smoke.
Oh yeah.
Just watch it. I don't think enough people. Obviously enough people have seen it. One of the best action movies I've ever seen.
Without a doubt.
Doesn't stop.
No.
Once it gets going, it does not stop.
Yeah.
Some of the most breathtaking scenarios in a movie where you're like, dude, these people have to band together that just never would, that never would in any normal situation. But as they're, Assault on Precinct 13, as this cop and these criminals are, together defending other criminals, is just the coolest idea. To be inside of a police station defending, like as if it's a fort, but there's a criminal inside. It's just so cool. Such a creative idea. And Carpenter, again, the simplistic, practicality, everything. He's just perfect. He knows exactly what he wanted to do. And this movie's early in his career, and it does not have much money going for it.
Nah, this is his second movie.
So you can tell that every single thing has a purpose. The camera is moving, you should watch, because there's a reason it's doing that, He didn't have the luxury of having millions and millions of dollars to do whatever the fuck he wanted. He had to make sure that everything was right.
And I think that him not having much on this movie showed he learned tricks on how to do so much with so little.
Exactly.
That he would later use in every film he did after this.
Yeah.
And this is the film that got people's attention, got him the Halloween gig, and then from there he just took off.
Exactly.
So you can thank this movie for John Carpenter's career.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. It is so good. We watched it again. We did an episode on it a few months ago. What was our bonus for it?
That was our bonus for Halloween.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Duh, because it wouldn't be. Yeah, 'cause it's not really horror. But it's pretty scary. Like there's a scene where a kid's getting ice cream, and gets killed. It's just brutal. I mean, the beginning of the movie is brutal, and then you get into the police station. It's just it just doesn't stop. Doesn't stop. It's great. I could watch it like over and over. I need to find it because your uncle gave it to us on Blu-ray. Let us borrow it.
It's a tough movie to find.
I know. I've looked, and if you do find it like on eBay, it's kind of expensive. So I'm like,
If I stumble upon it, I'll let you know.
yeah, I need it, man. It's so damn good. Gotta smoke. One of the
Napoleon
coolest,
fucking Wilson.
one of the coolest like smokers who doesn't actually get to smoke. It's
Yeah.
great. It's great.
Oh, beautiful. Assault and Precinct. That nearly made it into my top 10.
I love it. I love it so much. Carpenter, like, yeah, for a guy that I was introduced to like 2 years ago, he's just so much in my life.
Such an untapped cache of beautiful films.
God. I
can't imagine finding Carpenter for the first time now.
At age 23.
Jeez.
And then now I'm 25. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, you have so much cool shit to see. That's awesome, man.
It's great. What should be next for me to see of his? Because I've seen...
They Live.
Okay, yeah. And The Fog. Those are the two I want to see. Yeah. Definitely They Live, though. Because, yeah, I mean, to me, like, Halloween is perfect.
Have you seen Christine?
No. We were going to do that.
We were going to do that before we...
And that's a Stephen King?
It's a Stephen King done by Carpenter. And it's good. It's really good.
Christ.
Yeah, his Christine is a good adaptation.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Killer. Awesome, man. So that was your 6?
Yes.
My number 6 is another Best Picture winner, highly regarded as possibly the greatest film of all time. 1972's The Godfather.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think, does it deserve that title? Is it just overrated? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
The Godfather deserves the title of greatest film of all time. It is mind-blowingly fantastic. And it's all performance.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, Diane Keaton, Talia Shire, James Caan.
I mean...
John Cazale. It just doesn't stop.
It really doesn't.
And it is such an incredible movie of, the passing the torch to the son who's going to get this done. I love seeing this side of the mafia of, to Vito Corleone, they're family first and a crime syndicate second.
Yeah.
But nobody else sees it that way. And he doesn't want Michael to be like him. But Michael is the best man for the job.
Yeah.
Because he is ruthless. And I never fail to be amazed by that. By Marlon Brando's performance in this movie.
I know, man.
And a really young Al Pacino, who they didn't even want. Like, Coppola had to fight for him.
They didn't want Coppola.
They didn't want Coppola.
Coppola was like the 12th pick or some shit.
This movie never should have worked. It had so much production issues, so much problems getting made, and the finished product is timeless.
It became like one of the best 1-2 punches of all time.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, because you have Brando and then De Niro plays the... what? Yeah. It's fucking nuts.
A lot of people love Godfather 2 over this one, and I totally get that. I personally prefer the first one.
It's got Brando.
I think it's tighter. I think it's more, honestly, easier to follow at times.
Yes.
I think part 2 is stuffed pretty full.
It is.
And Brando is just mesmerizing. It really comes down to Brando.
I know.
This movie deserved every Oscar it got, and
Yep.
I watch it, all the time. It's one of my favorite movies. It's so good. I envy anyone who hasn't seen it yet to experience this for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, Christ.
I mean, I first watched it when I was like 15, and I thought, this is art. This is beautiful.
It's magic.
Yeah. And it's ruthless, and it's grisly. It's the mob. It never shies away from that. It never shies away from making you think this is a lavish lifestyle, kind of like Goodfellas does. With The Godfather, it's more like, this is who you are.
Yeah.
And there's no escaping that. And all three films deal with that idea, that Corleone is a mobster. There is no other life for a Corleone.
Ugh. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff.
Love The Godfather.
Me too. Me too. I thought about it, obviously, for a long time. I thought about both parts.
They didn't make it into yours?
No.
Oof.
No.
Damn.
Well, I actually, as far as Coppola goes, my favorite movie that he's done is The Conversation. I don't even have that in here. So
God damn.
The 70s are hard, man.
Yeah.
Woo! Down to the top fives.
All right. Send it home.
We know your 5 is Halloween. Yes. My 5 is going to be Stanley Kubrick again, 1971, A Clockwork Orange.
Right on.
This is a book I fell in love with when I was like 17. Again, if you've listened before, I dropped out of high school. So for me to find a book was weird. It was weird for me to find a book that is as intense as Anthony Burgess's writing style.
Yeah.
You can barely fucking understand it, but I couldn't put it down. Because the subject matter was so interesting to me. And I knew, obviously I needed to see the movie. And I haven't stopped since. I bought it. I actually have 2 copies of it. Just cause, I guess. I don't know. If I ever wanted someone to borrow it. I have a Blu-ray and like the original, like the old DVD. And yeah, it's just one of the most evil, horrible movies I've ever seen. But I love every second of it. Malcolm McDowell.
Oh boy.
Whew, this guy. Why did he not have an unbelievable career? I don't know. I'm not sure. But this has always been my favorite performances of his. I recently watched a movie from 1968 called If. Awesome performance. Very similar to this one as well, actually, Alex. But yeah, him as Alex, and obviously the movie is based around Alex, his character. That journey is unlike any journey I've ever seen for an individual in a movie. This just punk ass dude. Also in a post-apocalyptic, England, which is really interesting.
Interesting that it never really comes up.
No, it's just there. It's just the time it's in. It's just so fascinating. The movie is, we talk about atmosphere a lot. It is so atmospheric.
What genre would you classify this film as?
I don't know.
Because I've heard it...
Sci-fi?
I've heard sci-fi, I've heard horror, I've heard drama, I've heard action, I've heard everything.
I would call it a Stanley Kubrick film.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those that I don't want to tell my mom how much I love it, because it is. Yeah, it's evil. It's evil as fuck,
is evil.
Man. It's messed up, and I don't condone obviously this kind of these actions and this violence.
It's rated NC-17. Mm-hmm. Straight up.
Yeah, and a lot of during the 70s, a lot of libraries in the United States would just no way would they have this in there, that kind of thing.
But that just fueled people's desire to want to see this.
Exactly. It fuels people like us to well, what's there?
Yeah.
What's in it? What's in it that's so bad? I've seen way worse movies than this, of course.
Yeah.
I've been completely desensitized by weird, because that's what we watch. When you watch horror a lot, that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
And the Clockwork Orange, I don't. Yeah, again, I don't want to say that I'm that kind of action and that kind of is cool. I just think it's a cool movie. I think it's a fascinating piece of filmmaking.
Yeah.
I think the colors are so fucking vibrant, and you got this weird ass character who's listening to. Why is he listening to this music, this classical music, and he's hanging out with his giant ass snake?
Ludwig von.
What is wrong with this guy? And steaky wakies and aggy waggies, man.
I couldn't get through the book.
I know. We've talked about
Yeah.
it, which again is I can't say how low my confidence was when I was 17, 18, or how dumb I felt because I dropped out of high school and I was failing everything. But then you find stuff and you're like, you know what? I don't need a fucking scholastic history book. I'll read Anthony Burgess' stuff. I'll learn way more from that kind of dialogue and that kind of writing style than some book, some history book. That's just how I feel. And I feel like movies have changed the way I think about myself and made me feel more confident in the way I talk because of movies. I never finished high school, so it's always been a thing that's on my mind. Always will be. I'll always bring it up as a formative thing for me.
Yeah.
And movies like this, when you're at that age, you're man, I'm finding stuff feels like it was made for me. It's weird, And that's such a cool time to be in. When you're 17, 18, 19, you're really finding your art, and what a time. I wish I could go back to that time, honestly. But now, here I am. I've seen this movie countless times. I share it with all my friends, if they haven't seen it, which is weird if they haven't. I used to go to the Corova Milk, bar in downtown San Antonio until they shut it down. I used to go see concerts there all the time. I loved it. I loved that place. It's a bar right here in San Antonio. It had posters all over the wall of Clockwork Orange. It's called the Corova. So cool, Yeah, I could talk about it endlessly. I think it's just one of those movies that just will always pop out at me as and if I hear someone say it, I'm yeah. We immediately have a weird fucked up connection, don't we? Well, that's louder than usual, huh?
That's a weird one.
Yeah, we got the car people are wilding out below us right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. Or
Oh
why it's
my
not
god,
stopping.
it sounds like a hoverboard or something.
It is vibrating the floor. That is. If you can hear that, I'm sorry.
They don't like a Clockwork Orange. Whoa!
Jesus Christ!
What is that?
Going on? I felt like my apartment was about to explode. That was very weird.
Is there a UFO above us?
What in the hell was that? Oh, we Close Encounter recorded right here. Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, Clockwork Orange is a great movie.
Yeah. One of my favorite Stanley Kubrick movies.
It was nearly on my list. Didn't make the cut by just a bit. It was so close. But yeah, man, that was your number 5.
Yeah. And your 5 was Halloween.
My 5 was Halloween.
All right.
Jesus.
Have anything else to say about Halloween? I mean,
not really. I think I covered it.
we can always go back to it because we always will.
It is, yeah.
Because it's always going to come up as one of those. Yeah, it's the quintessential slasher.
So I guess we'll go to my my number 4.
What
order?
I haven't said my 4 yet.
All right.
Yeah, because we got okay.
Do your 4.
Yeah, so my 5 is Clockwork, just to get everybody back. The people below us, man. Oh my God.
I don't know what that was. We apologize. But I don't even know if you could hear that, but I bet you could.
Yeah, and if not, we definitely made it clear what was happening.
Jesus, that was weird.
Okay, so my 5 is Clockwork, yours is Halloween. My 4 is William Friedkin again, would be French Connection.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, Best Picture winner, one of the quintessential 70s movies. Ridiculous performances from Hackman and Scheider. And we talked about it recently because I wanted to pair it with The Exorcist as a Friedkin. Let's just do it back to back. My 2 favorite movies by him. The French Connection. My favorite chase scene of any movie ever.
Oh yeah,
is in The French Connection. There's multiple of them. They happen quite often. And Gene Hackman, irredeemable piece of shit cop who I can't stand if I met him in real life, but I can't stop watching him on the screen.
It's Gene Hackman in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, no kidding. French Connection. I'm really glad you got to see it.
Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, it's one of those 70s staples. It always will be. Best Picture winner again from early 70s, and it'll just blow your mind. As far as action movies go, it'll blow your mind. And as far as like drug movies go, it's all that cop movies. It's got it all wrapped into one. Everything we love about that kind of style movie.
Well, I love that. I've been on a Breaking Bad rewatch for the past few weeks, and there was a scene I finally understood a reference to The French Connection.
Yes.
When Hank's talking about how he wishes he got to take down Heisenberg like Popeye Doyle waving at him.
Yeah.
I got it.
So at first you're like, man, what is he talking about? Popeye? What? And then bam.
I get it now.
It's great. Hank makes so many cool references on that show. He's awesome. I think you understand more why Dean Norris and Hank Schrader was my favorite performance in the show.
Yeah.
Once you watch it again, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's great.
Oh, yeah.
And then in Better Call Saul. Wow, yeah. Awesome stuff, man. Your number 4?
My number 4 is one of the funniest films ever made. And
1974?
No.
70s?
75.
75, okay.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's a film it was the Monty Python troupe's second film. Their first was 1971's, and now for something completely different.
Yeah.
Which was more of a sketch comedy movie anyway. This was a plot. This was King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table on a quest for the Holy Grail. And it is hysterical. One of the funniest movies ever made. Not just in the 70s, but ever. And I love it to death. It's so weird. It's another movie that's hard to sell if you don't know what Monty Python is.
Yeah, which is hard to believe.
There are people. It's weird.
Yeah.
But Monty Python, British comedy troupe, Graham Chapman, John Cleese, Eric Idle, Terry Jones, Michael Palin, and Terry Gilliam. All of them mind-blowingly hilarious people. I'm so glad they found each other.
Yeah.
And they had what they call their Holy Trinity, which was Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 1978's Life of Brian, which barely didn't make this list. I love that movie too.
It's so good.
And 1983's The Meaning of Life, which is not as good, but still funny at times.
Not totally for me, yeah.
But Holy Grail is on a different level, man. It is so weird. Things like The Black Knight and The Killer Rabbit have all become iconic at this point. I got to see the live show Spamalot at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
That was so funny. And I adore Holy Grail, and I can't wait for an opportunity to talk about it on the show.
Well, we will.
Yeah.
We will. We'll find a way. That was your number 4?
That was my number 4.
Here we go. Down to the top 3s. I think you probably know my 3.
Do I?
I mean, Roman Polanski. I have to go there.
Yep. Here we go.
I gotta go there, man. So, Roman Polanski, we did an episode 10 of the entire Filmgazm podcast was focused solely on his filmography and the crazy career he has had, which I won't get into. There's no point. But I chose for my number 3 movie, 1974's Chinatown.
Chinatown.
One of Jack Nicholson's best performances. Roman Polanski's best movie.
Ooh.
Maybe Rosemary's Baby. I don't know. It's tough. I just think Chinatown is perfect. I don't see a flaw in it. I'm still surprised by the ending, which is weird. I've seen it 12 times. I don't know how I still find that sensation over and over. Again, I think it hinges upon Jack Nicholson being fucking dominant on the screen and being one of the best actors to ever live here in America anyway. And he just has a way in this movie. He just has a way that I'll again, we talked about The Shining, of course, a bunch. We talked about One Flew Over. Any of those 3, man, you can point to that's his best work, Those 3 to me are just untouchable And he,
It's a hell of a run.
it really is. His 70s, 80s is pretty scary. How did this guy not lose his mind?
Yeah.
Playing all these characters, you know,
Some psychos, man.
and working with these wild directors. Yeah, Chinatown. I personally wish it would have beat Godfather Part 2. That just would have been such a fascinating thing to look at. But I get it. The Godfather 1 and 2, it looks clean, looks great. When you're looking down, you're like, yeah, those deserve to win. I just think Chinatown holds its own. Definitely holds its own against any other 70s movie, against any other movie, period. I don't see anything wrong with Chinatown. It's fucking awesome.
Right on, man.
It's probably one of the first Blu-rays I ever owned. I just bought it on a whim. I didn't know who Polanski was. It's like, I bet that's like a good classic movie, you know? I didn't know what I was doing. I bought it, watched it. Whoa. And then I read about it. And I was like, oh, there's like all this behind this movie, you know? It's a monumental film because the guy who made it, you know, and what's followed after. Very shortly after 74.
Yeah, right about that time.
You know, just a crazy life that guy had. I encourage anyone to go back and listen to episode 10. It's a really good episode.
Yeah,
One of
my personal favorite.
Yeah, one of my favorites we've ever done too. It's awesome. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is also in my top 5 favorite episodes of all time. 1974's Young Frankenstein.
I knew that was coming. I was like, where the fuck is
Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks' masterpiece. Another hilarious movie. Gene Wilder's maybe his greatest performance.
I think so.
And just a lights out, funny ass movie.
Yeah.
But also a really good Frankenstein movie. Maybe the best one to ever do the Frankenstein story.
Exactly.
Who would have thought Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder would accomplish that? And I couldn't say enough about Young Frankenstein. If you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, what are you doing with your life? Get off this podcast and go watch that.
Yeah.
Go watch Young Frankenstein.
And then go listen to our episode about it.
Oh, yeah. I haven't laughed harder in my life than when we did Young Frankenstein on the show. That was so much fun. And still one of my favorite movies. Young Frankenstein.
It's wonderful, man.
Their wolf. Their castle. I could go in on. So great.
Any day of the week, man.
Without a doubt, man. Young Frankenstein.
All right. Well, you know my 1.
Yes.
So here's my 2 from the same year. Steven Spielberg. Monster movies are really cool, and I think he did it the best ever still, and that would be Jaws from 1975.
We got over that.
What's that?
That's my number 1.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yep, you did it to me.
Just not as early. Yeah. It's 1A, 1B for One Flew Over in Jaws. Came from the same year, which is crazy. What a year.
75.
Hey, Jaws is arguably the most important American film ever. It changed the summer calendar forever. It changed what people were looking for in summer movies. It changed what people are looking for in the theater in general. It changed what you could do with a horror movie. Less is more.
Yeah.
It changed everything. Everything about cinema.
It gave Spielberg the chance to become
Spielberg. Which is a treat in its own. I mean, yeah, for that guy to like start his career, you know, doing something like this is just so ballsy, so confident, so almost arrogant. Before we knew that you could do that, you could build a fucking shark and not show it that often and be that scary.
It started an entire subgenre of films that never even came close to topping this one.
No. Still. No monster movie will ever touch Jaws.
Nope.
And the one that does is Jurassic Park. It's by the same fucking guy, you know? And that's a bunch of dinosaurs. This is a giant shark and 3 men battling out for like 45 minutes.
The ultimate man versus nature movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And then you got some stuff in there that it's just like iconic from not even like the horror genre or even like the sci-fi genre or anything other than drama. It's like you got Roy Scheider just being a good actor and him and his kid, you know, sitting down and the kid copying everything he's doing. Chills. Or how about them drinking together? Dreyfuss, you know, Shaw and all the lads out on the boat telling stories drunk as shit. Come on.
Dude, for me, it's Robert Shaw scratching the chalkboard. That iconic intro of like,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'll catch the beast for you.
Yeah.
For $10,000, you can have the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
The whole damn fish. Yeah.
Eating
Eating those weird ass crackers. Yeah. It's perfect.
He's the ultimate. He's Captain Ahab. It's beautiful.
Perfect movie. Yeah. We got to see this in theaters together.
Yes, we did.
One of the best days of my life. seeing Jaws on the big screen, seeing those iconic shots when Scheider realizes what's going on. Oh, I feel so lucky to have been able to do that. Oh man, I love Jaws.
I couldn't say enough about Jaws.
It's
one of the greatest films.
We'll be doing it again, just like we did The Shining. Like for a double, we'll do Jaws again.
Oh, why
it's
not?
just one of those movies never gonna stop coming up.
Yeah.
And again, monster movies. This is it. This is the mecca, the fucking mecca, the dawn. You know, it's it. You know, it's Jaws. It's fucking Jaws. And we've talked about how like we're surprised if people haven't seen something. This is like the number one. Like, how have you not seen Jaws?
If I find out
what's wrong with you,
if I make a new friend and I find out they haven't seen Jaws, that becomes my new mission. You gotta watch Jaws.
I'm just not friends with them anymore.
I have to make this person's life better.
No, there's no hope, man. If they haven't seen Jaws, there's no hope. The Thing is a little bit different. I hadn't seen The Thing yet, and you're like, dude, Austin, you got to see The Thing if you want to understand horror, you know? And that's true. But Jaws, if you haven't seen Jaws, I don't even know if I...
There's no hope for you.
What conversation are we going to have? Yeah. Come on, man.
One of these days, I need to get out to Lake Travis and do Jaws on the water.
We have to.
Gotta do that.
We have to.
I've tried so many times. I always miss it.
Yeah, I have to do that.
Before
I die.
Yes, Jaws on the water.
Got to. Yeah, it's one of the best horror movies ever.
For those of you who don't know, Alamo Drafthouse, through their Rolling Roadshow program, show Jaws on a giant inflatable screen on Lake Travis where people can sit on inner tubes and float on the water while they watch Jaws. And they have divers grab your legs. It's unbelievable. It's the coolest experience.
I gotta go.
I want to do that so bad.
I gotta go. Oh, man. And I'm going to talk in Robert Shaw accent the whole time, you know? The whole time. I'm just going to be Shaw.
Just be New England fisherman. Farewell and adieu, dear fair Spanish ladies.
What about this one?
Oh, my God.
So good, man.
Oh.
Yeah. I love it.
I get pumped just talking about Jaws. It's one of those movies, you know?
Yeah, and it's your number one. So what's your number two?
My number two is a film that's been with me for almost as long as Back to the Future. It's a film that could tie with Little Shop of Horrors for my favorite musical. 1971's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
A couple of Gene Wilder, huh?
Yeah, back to back.
That's pretty crazy. You're a big fan.
I'm a huge fan of Gene Wilder.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Oh, dude, broke my heart. Willy Wonka was a movie made almost entirely to sell candy bars. And the movie was infinitely more successful than the candy bar program was.
Yeah.
The movie is so whimsical, but so sarcastic and dark. It is perfect. Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, is the best. He doesn't give a fuck. And I love that.
Yeah.
He is constantly endangering these kids.
Yeah.
And doesn't care about what happens to them because he knows they're bad kids.
Yeah, fuck them.
But
fuck them.
The Oompa Loompas and just the set design and everything about it is gold. It's endearing. It's fun. And it's charming, and it just makes me smile when I watch Willy Wonka.
Which is sometimes what you fucking need out of movies.
It really is.
Especially right now.
If I'm having a bad day, if I really am just having a shitty day, I'm going to go home and I'm going to put on Willy Wonka. And I'm going to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And that's the power of film.
Without a doubt.
Sometimes can just make your day better. Isn't that awesome? The thing is, for you and I, we can watch like a really dark movie that'll make our day better too.
Yeah. Jaws will make my day better.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
Oh man, so my number one is One Flew Over. Yours is Jaws.
Yes.
Unbelievable decade. So powerful, and we've covered so many of these movies, which is what I love about that. I love that we're talking about movies we've talked about before and we have a lot of passion for.
Yeah.
Lots of great horror.
Oh.
I had a very, very hard time keeping Carrie out of this list.
Carrie.
It was between that and Halloween, and I was like, oh my God, this decision. And The Omen. Those are great horror movies, man. Like, legendary horror movies. I also thought a little bit about, this might be surprising, but The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man.
Fucking frightening movie.
That is an unsettling
And it's very 70s, you know? I thought about it a lot. 70s are awesome. So awesome. We've talked about in this podcast post-Hays Code. Obviously, the 70s is the most fresh. Some people are going to be experimenting the most.
Yeah.
And it shows, man. It shows. Didn't Suspiria come out in the 70s?
77.
Yeah.
Suspiria.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good pick.
Yeah, there's so much gorgeous stuff, so much dark stuff, so much, you know, it's everything. There's great gangster films in that decade. It's got it all.
I didn't really struggle that much with this list. I knew what most of them were going to be from the get-go. Assault on Precinct 13 is one I almost put in there.
Thought about, yeah.
And A Clockwork Orange. Those were tough. Original Star Wars, I struggled with that one a bit.
Deer Hunters, I love Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter's great.
So good.
The
The Sting, I'm a big fan of The Sting.
I haven't seen The
As
Sting.
far as the winners go, yeah. Patton's awesome. Long as shit, but it's awesome. Barry Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon's good. But I think I've only seen it once. I wasn't as jazzed by it as I was with a lot of other Kubrick work.
Yeah.
But it is good. It's good. I'm trying to think.
Well, that year, man, that 75, Dog Day Afternoon, it's just an insane.
I really like Duel.
Yes.
It's a great movie.
Yes.
71.
Serpico is my favorite Al Pacino performance.
Serpico.
1973, yeah. And it's hard to believe that was wedged in between The Godfathers. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, man.
And it also, I will admit, one of the reasons I love Serpico is because it's always sunny when Charlie dresses up as awesome episode.
Yes.
And Frank and Dennis are like fake cops. Yeah.
He does such a good Pacino. It's crazy.
It's actually pretty mind blowing. Yeah, how good Charlie is at some of that stuff. Yeah.
I really like, and this is kind of an off the wall one, but I really like 1978 Superman.
Okay.
I think Christopher Reeve
I
did
haven't seen that in a while. Yeah.
it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, Gene Hackman does a great Luthor.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
It's a good version. It's the first two Superman movies kick ass. Superman 2 especially. That movie's fucking gold. But yeah, I would have if I had a longer list, Superman would probably be in there. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Well, I think we could do top 20, top
Blazing
30.
Saddles. Thought about that one.
The movie doesn't aged. Hasn't aged too
No.
well compared to Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Frankenstein's decidedly a lot less racist.
Yeah, there's a guy I work with. Not gonna say his name. He's an interesting guy. He told me that's his favorite movie of all time, and I was like,
Blazing Saddles.
you're probably not gonna be a guy I get along with too well. Oh man. All right. Well, let's go back down.
Yeah.
Back down the old top 10 here. My number 10 for the 70s is Halloween from 1978. Number 9, Taxi Driver, 76. The Exorcist, 73. Coffee, 73. Assault on Precinct 13, 1976. A Clockwork Orange, 71. French Connection. Number 3, Chinatown, 74. Jaws, 75. And number 1, One Flew Cuckoo's Nest, also 1975.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My top 10. Number 10, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Number 9, Rocky. Number 8, Enter the Dragon. Number 7, The Omen. Number 6, The Godfather. Number 5, Halloween. Number 4, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Number 3, Young Frankenstein. Number 2, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And number 1, Jaws.
That top 3 is so cool. Yours, it's so fucking random.
It is. Dude, Gene Wilder, I adore that man with all of my heart.
And he's great. Yeah. I mean, we got to do Willy Wonka someday.
Oh, we will.
Yeah. What did we do Young and Frankenstein for?
That was an episode.
And
then
what
our
we do is the
was
bonus.
Spaceballs.
Oh, that's right. We stuck with, yeah. Okay.
We bent the rules a bit for Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Hey, Spaceballs was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, man.
Because we got to see that in theaters as well.
Yes.
What, I was trying to think, so we saw Jaws was the first like old movie we saw together.
Yes.
And what else have we seen beside that? Burbs? Tommy
We
Boy?
did the Burbs, Tommy Boy, Spaceballs. That might be it.
That might be it, yeah. That's such an awesome
Because
group.
we've had schedule issues where we
Yeah,
can't.
well, we had.
Yeah.
I fucked that one up with the Big Lebowski. I was so mad because they told me I had this day off at work, and then when I got my schedule, I was like, I need that night off, and he was like, well, you got to work.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but my friend got tickets to the Big Lebowski, and he's like, what's that? I'm like, you're not gonna reason with me at all. Fuck you.
Well, I remember a couple years ago, I had like when you were still working, we were both still working at Draft House, but like you worked at like a opposite schedule than I did. So I tried to get like The Shining and Starship Troopers, and it just never worked out.
Yeah,
But,
I would be like working at the
Yeah,
time. I think did you go to the Fight Club one?
I did go to the Fight Club.
I was
one.
working at
Yeah,
that,
I
and I
remember you-
kind of just sat there.
You came up and just sat next to me on the stairs for a bit.
I did that with they showed Days Confused. I didn't work a fucking second that night. I just sat my ass in the
That's
theater.
awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get rehired there if I ever, if I ever wanted to, but I don't want to. Yeah, no, I do want to talk about, obviously, we don't know when this is exactly going to be released. Hopefully, things are a little bit back to normal
Hopefully.
with theater going and stuff. But yeah, just people hang in there. With whatever's going on, we don't totally know.
No.
Just hang in there, y'all. Stay positive.
We're doing what we can on our end to provide quality content here. And that's pretty much all we can do.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep doing this and keep enjoying it. And we're hoping that you enjoy it as well.
Indeed.
And that's, the best we can do.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening to our top 10 of the 70s. We don't know what we got coming for you, but it's going to kick ass. We know that.
Hell yes.
So we'll talk to you later and stay safe.
Peace.